even though I have my master's in illustration, I still can draw better heads. And I definitely can draw better hands. So, Drawing the Head and Hands by Andrew Loomis. This book is always recommended in any advice circles online, or like any artist you ask will probably recommend an Andrew Loomis book. I have two of them. I've gone through each of them a little bit, but I feel like I need to finally take the plunge and go through the entire thing. Now, Mr. Loomis is very yappy. He's a certified yapper, so he got a lot of texting here. But maybe we do it together. We can get through it. So let's see. Now, no one's ever going to say that Mr. Loomis here wasn't an S tier artist. Look at these sketches; these are amazing. I just hope one day I could be even a little bit this good. So, like I said, Mr. Loomis is a bit of a yapper. There are, let's see, how many parts? 5 parts, and then each part has a plate in it, a couple plates. I don't know what a plate is, but all right. So in his book, the main parts are men's heads. Do I have a highlighter? Men's heads. Part 2 is women's heads. Part 3 is baby heads. Part 4 is boys and girls, boy and girl heads. Part 5 is hands. So, all in all, let's see how many pages this book is. Okay, so about 150 plus pages in this book. So it's a pretty hefty book. Which is probably why I've avoided going through it beforehand. But anyway, let's start off with this part. All right, so he says, the cranium is more like a ball than anything else. To represent the ball as a solid sphere, we must establish an axis, like the nail through the ball at the top. Through the centers established by the axis, we can divide the ball into quarters and again at the equator. Now, if we were to slice off a fairly thin slice on each side, we will have produced a basic shape that very closely matches the cranium. The equator becomes the brow line. One of the lines through the axis becomes the middle line of the face. About halfway up from the brow line to the axis, we establish the hairline, or the top of the face. We drop the middle line straight down off the ball. On this, we mark off 2 points about equal to the space of the forehead, or from brow line to hairline. This gives us the length of the nose, and below that the bottom of the chin. We can now draw the plane of the face by drawing in the jawline, which connects about halfway around the ball on each side. The ears attach along the halfway line, up and down, at a distance about equal to the space from the brows to the bottom of the nose. The ball can be tipped in any direction. So let's give this a try. You've probably seen the Loomis method online. Like I've seen it a ton. It's why I bought this book. I'm just kind of warming up here. I like to draw like a million circles before I finally go with one. Okay, so let's try to emulate what he's doing up here. So we have a ball, and he's basically putting a nail. Ooh. So like this. Put a nail through it. Okay. Okay, I think I could have did it a little bit better, but uh-huh. And then we have the middle line, as he's saying. It's easier for me to do it if I tilt the. Okay, and then what is that? Oh, the brown line. Interesting. Okay, so then down here, the brown line. Oh, I see. So, like, I'm guessing if we would draw an eyebrow, it would be right here, and then the nose will, will be like right there. And then, like, okay. Okay, I feel him. I feel him. I'm picking up what he's dropping. Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. Okay, and then he's saying, like, okay, if you go and do a thin slice. Now, this is the part I always struggle with, the ear slices. Like, when I try to replicate it by myself, without, like, actually referencing his book. Okay. And then you cut that off. So, let's say we cut this off. What if it's like that? And then I'm pretty sure my ear will go like right here. So eyebrow, eyebrow, nose, and then something like that. Over it, like, I've had this book for a while, and over the years, I find myself having to come back to it because, I don't find, like, when I read through what he's saying, I don't find it to be, very intuitive. I feel like it's kind of hard to actually understand what he's saying. And he's, like, kind of very wordy. And so, especially in the beginning of my, like, my art, I didn't understand what bro was saying. So, I'm getting carried away here. But I think I'm getting the gist of it. So I'm gonna try. Oops. I'm gonna try to do it the opposite way that he has. That underneath look, kind of. Boy, oh boy, do I need to work on my circles. Okay. So, okay, let's try the under way he did. Let's draw the brow line up here. Oh, this is kind of a horrible circle. We're gonna work with it. And then the nail is like right here. And so then we have to Okay. So what line is... Okay. Is it called the middle line? Yeah, middle line. Okay. Okay, middle line, brow line. Oh, okay, okay. I'm gonna label these. Okay, middle line, brow line. Okay. And then... Okay. Ooh. All right. And then we do our little slice. Okay. And a little back, a little front. Okay. And now we're face tilted up. Okay. And then, okay, so just like that. And then you can see where he puts like his little tick marks for the nose, for the chin, brows. Ear. Mm-hmm. Okay. Just clean it up a little bit. Ba-da-bum. His like cheek. And then his nose. Where does his nose go? His nose will go like... I can't say. Okay, I'm guessing. Then this man's like looking up, kind of. Hmm. Okay. I'm like, okay. I'm just not messing with that. That one kind of looks a hot mess. We'll keep practicing. Okay. And then he does like a side profile. Does he like going somewhere? Okay, let's just keep practicing this one because I think that I definitely need some more practice. Tell me something new. Okay. Okay, so brow line, middle line. And then take a little slice off. I feel like my brow line's a little too high though, isn't it? Feels high. Yeah, hold on. I don't know. Like, okay. I feel like I already have to go back to the nail. I'm already forgetting what he's saying. Okay. So basically the nail goes like at the crossroads. Oof. Okay. And then okay, so that's not including the brow line. Hmm. Okay. I'm trying to like okay. And then he like draws like a brow line. Ooh. Right there. Wait, but how does that so does that mean I drew my okay. Alright, let's move that out the way. You know what? I might need to go back to basics and practice my freaking circles. My circle. Oh my god. Alright, we're rolling with it. So, okay, so basically he puts his nail in. Alright, here's my nail. And let's say that. And then the midline. Okay. Oh wait, hold on. Let's check that out because that line is confusing me. And then wait, midline to what? Okay. Bro, what? What is going on? Why is it so hard? What is he saying to me? Okay. Alright. X marks the spot. Right, maybe I can understand it better if I... Alright. Okay. Now we have to draw a brow line. Now, is there a rule to the brow line? Brow line. He says... Through the centers established by the axis, we can divide the bottom quarters. Okay, now if we recess all that. But what about the brow line? Like, is there a rule? Okay. The quarter becomes the brow line. One of the lines through the axis becomes the middle line. One of the lines through the axis becomes the middle line. You know, it would be nice if he, like, is the axis the nail? Okay. So, like, this is the axis. This is the middle line. This is the brow line. Okay. I could just be not that smart, but I feel like he could have been more clear about the rules for the brow line, because it's clear that you can't just draw the brow line anywhere, right? Like, you can't just draw the brow line up. Well, I guess he's saying it's the equator. Okay, maybe I'm just not smart. The equator. Okay. So the equator. Like, if I were to cut this in half. Okay, and then he draws this line. Okay. Maybe I think my circle is just a little jank here, which can definitely be part of the problem. Okay. So again, ear goes here. We like have the side of the chin starting there. And then eyebrow. Oof. I think this eyebrow is. I feel like this eyebrow is like too high. I could see the thing about this method. I think it's a really good method. Like, once I get it, I know that it will be very useful. It's just I feel like if your circles aren't like on point, this is gonna be like a struggle, you know. And my circles are not on point, so I feel like I'm gonna struggle. And then like the other thing is, this could just be me. It definitely is just me. But then it's like it just gets so messy. I feel like I have to like clean up my guidelines, and then, but I need the guidelines. It looks so crazy. I feel like I like cut off a lot of his face. How did I do that? Hmm. At this point, I feel like I'm just not even listening to what he's saying. It gotta be that I'm not listening to what he's saying, because this ain't it. Hmm. Okay, so basically I just need good circles. I need good mathematical circles. Alright, we can do this. Or I can just draw circles from the thing, but that's not going to make me a better artist now, is it? Okay, that's not bad. Okay, let's okay, so the nail is kind of confusing me, so I'm just gonna kind of start off by maybe just cutting it the way he's telling us to cut it. Gosh. Okay, so this would be like the nail. Okay. Alright. Brow line, middle line, okay. And then okay, so when he brings this line down, is it like this? Or is it like this? You know what I'm saying? Or is it like this? I kind of feel like it's that one, right? I don't know. Okay. It's like he's bringing down the line from the middle of the brow line. Okay. But like the middle of the brow line, if we cut it off, like from, no, I'm trying to say, like in the direction of the nail, you know, that would make sense. I think that does make sense. Okay. I think I'm picking up what bro is dropping now. Maybe only a little bit though. And then, okay. I feel like my faces are like looking real anime-ish right now. Okay, and then wait a minute. Okay, so okay. I think I'm making my slice a little bit too big, so I'm cutting off some of the skull when I make it that size. Okay, that makes sense. And I think I'm making a jaw a little bit too long. Ooh, that kind of looks too short though. Gosh, what's going on? Oh, goodness. Okay, so I need a... Maybe I need to make my my slice smaller. So let's try that again. Okay, so first we're gonna divide it up. Oh my gosh, and my circles are so abysmally bad. Okay, yeah, I think I would benefit from just like drawing circles. Like I've seen a lot of stuff with like draw a box, I think it's called, and people are like drawing boxes. But you know what? I think I need to draw circles. That's what I need to do. Okay, so alright, let's just for visual reference draw my little nail. My little axis. I think I say the word axis weird or wrong. Straight wrong sometimes. Okay. You know, this is so good that I'm doing this because I clearly need to work on my fundamentals again. Okay, so we're gonna cut off. I feel like my slice is too big. Am I tripping? Because it looks like he leaves like some room. Like you see this part right here? Like he leaves some room right there. Like, hmm. Lord knows I don't look right. Okay. Look at my my circle is so bad. Okay. Okay. A another thing I think that's not clear, and maybe it could just be that I'm not smart, is it seems to me like there's clearly a rule about um like how this slice, how the lines in your slice should go, like what angle they should go at. And I feel like he's not talking about that. So I feel like I'm just kind of guessing like what feels right, but okay. This could just be a case of my circles are really bad. Okay, so he goes down a little, wait, huh? Yeah, he does. He goes like a little bit down from this ear part over here. Okay, you know what? Maybe I'm, perhaps I am, Lord help my circles. Hmm. Like my circles are too ovally. Like I'm going, hold on. I think I'm on to something. So I don't know why I feel like I can draw my circles a little bit better. I'm about to just start drilling circles. Okay, so I feel like I was just on to something. So if I draw my nail, wait, huh? Let's try to make it like in the middle at least. Okay, so I have my nail. Okay. So, you know what? I might just, oh my god, that was helpful. Just drawing like the whole thing. I feel like that was helpful. Or was it? Hold on, before I feel like I drew the brow line before I drew my other lines. So I guess I should draw my midline first. Um. Okay, so what I was gonna say, I think I was taking my midline like all the way over here, but maybe I'm not supposed to do that. Maybe I'm supposed to. Oh God. Mm, wait, that's not my midline. That's not what that is. Okay, that's like the midline. Uh-huh. Okay. And then it's like, what's this like top line called? I guess it's just it doesn't have a name. Did he say it had a name? Research the axis like a nail through the ball at the top. Okay. Through the center established by the axis, we can divide the ball into quarters and again at the equator. Okay, okay. Yeah, you know what? I think this is just because I've gone through like this lesson before, and I just like as an even fresher artist, I just did not understand what he was saying. And now I'm kind of like understanding that it's kind of like it's a little bit of perspective. And at the time, my understanding of like perspective and space wasn't great. So, yeah. Mm, mm. Honestly, it's like at this point, what's gonna help you? What's gonna help me make a better? I'm gonna turn my stabilization up and see if that helps. Okay. Oh, thank goodness. That's much better. The thing, the one of the now I love digital. I went to art school, so I've worked with a wide array of materials. Oh wait, not to cut myself off, but what if I like did a smaller circle instead of a bigger circle? Okay. Okay. And let's draw. Mm, okay. 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 Okay, but how? Oh, like why? Wait, hold on. Let me see. No, like he has a space. For some reason, I can't do this part right here. Maybe I'm putting my brow line too low. Oh wait, I'm being silly. That's because his brow line is high. Okay, so maybe that space doesn't exist when the brow line isn't high. Okay, that's That's making sense to me. All right. Practice makes perfect. Okay, maybe since in this position the guy will be you know what? I think I just realized. Okay, so if this is the axis of the head, like if this is the axis of the head, that means that the circle has to, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to describe what I'm saying, but like the brow line should be high. So that way it could look like this. But the way I have it is my axis is like this, but my brow line is right here. That doesn't work. My brow line has to be like basically above. Okay. Okay. Which this is once again a perspective problem. Like I'm forgetting all of the rules of perspective basically. And that's my fault. That's why. That's why it's not making any sense. Okay, so let's try it again. Shooting stars. Okay. Okay, so if my face is like this, then my brow line has to be up here. Or my equator. The way I split this ball in half has to be this way. Oh my goodness. Be higher? Like, kind of like in the middle, right? Because it's not going to work anywhere else. Yeah. Yeah, because... Oh, okay. Yeah, because this has to match... This middle part has to come down to match this axis. Alright. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then... Mm-hmm. Very difficult, okay. Oh my god, this is definitely difficult to understand. I feel like I have to just like work on my like just draw a small circle. Okay, so he kind of like tilts his too a little bit. Yeah, his were like more. Well, hold on, let me. Like, okay, maybe I should be drawing the midline. Oh God. Okay. I think that's not bad. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's draw a middle line first. Draw a line. Oof. Okay. Let's see, draw like that little cheekbone. I think it's like so tough to like figure out what the neck is doing. Oh, okay. Hmm. Okay. 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 I like putting the shoulder so close to the head. Oof. Okay, actually, let's see if we can do this one if the nail is behind. So cut it in half. Okay. And then that. Draw a little circle. Okay, okay. Okay, okay. And this one's the same. I don't know why. Pretty much drew that the same. Okay, cut it in half. And then okay. Think I'm roughly getting it. Okay. Let's put together everything we've learned. Trying to get a really good circle here. I'm cheating. Okay. And let's put our nail. Like, how do I? Let's do just regular looking down. Okay. Okay, so I think I get it now. I would take that even a little further. Kinda. Okay, and then the brow line. Right here. Okay. And so this is, okay, so sleeping down, so. Okay. I'm gonna try to make sure I draw these more. Like, not just like slice it off all willy-nilly, but try to make it so it makes sense. Okay, that looks like it makes sense. And so ear. Okay, hold on. Let me just actually draw. Where does he have that? Okay, so here's the brow. I think this is like where he has the hairline. Where's the nose? I think the nose is like right here. Okay. Let's see. Let's see what this gets me for a sketch. Let's do it smaller so that way I feel like I have more control. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Look, that's not right. Uh-huh. Doot, 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 ding. Okay, okay. Alright. Let's see, does he draw like low? The brow line? Kind of low if you can see the top. Okay. And then oh wait. Mm-hmm. Oh my god, why can't I get this? Okay. Now, gonna use different colors for different stuff. Okay, so okay, and then okay, and then the brow line. Okay, so since we're looking down on it, I'll cut it in half this way. Okay, okay. And then we're gonna cut this off. Oh wait, like am I not? Should this be coming up a little bit more? I need a snack.